Hi, Holly. Hi, everyone. How are you? Okay, do my shares real quick. Hi, Anna. We have an interesting topic today. I was excited since I decided to do it last week. Hey, Princess. How are you? Okay. Ready, sketty. You finally made it. Hello, it's good to see you live. I'm doing good. My engine started being put back in my vehicle yesterday morning. So, it can take a couple of days worth of work to get it in there and get everything right. But I'm excited. It's almost done. How are you doing, Holly? Like, health wise, are you all better? Are you all fully recovered? Hi, Katie. How are you, love? I'm feeling kind of sleepy still, just a little bit. Like my eyes feel heavy. Um, but other than that, I'm feeling really well. Hey, Matt, how are you? Oh, we'll give you guys a second for everyone to start filing in. Got a few of you in here. And then we'll start with the reading. Um, it's not as many cards as there has been recently, but we'll see. You know how chatty the decks get on the bottom. Much better. You did yard work. Nice. It's been like windy here and cloudy, and then it's rained a few times. Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing well. Um, but at lower elevations, it actually snowed. So I was shocked. We didn't get any of that, but we did get a little bit of rain. We're supposed to be getting some more in a few days or so, and I'm so excited for the rain. We need it so badly here because we didn't get so much snowfall this year. So I'm worried about all the animals and when there's no food or water sources, like we don't get as much rain, so there's not enough for them to forage. They tend to come down to lower elevations to, forage, and they end up getting hit on the highways and stuff and causing problems and getting, unalived via pew pew. Ranchers. There's lots of ranchers here. Oh, good. I'm glad. Glad you're doing well. Um, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started because we all know that I make sure to describe everything again and I go back to things as they pop up. So, y'all know. Okay. Funny, funny. Okay. Bottom of the deck with the Rebel deck. It says, get some fucking sleep. You're being an ass because you're fucking tired. Face to pillow now. Oh, man. Um, so yeah, I am feeling that one. I've been a little tired and, recovering from the sore throat and everything. So I get that. Two of Cups in the reverse. Things are not coming together because you need rest. Whether it's sleepiness, tiredness, or not, it may just be the need to rebalance yourself mentally, emotionally. Um, Time to let go. Move the fuck on. They're like, you know what this is about. So it's like kind of like a fatherly energy that says this, like, you know what this is about. Whoever that resonates for. All night for a change. Yes. the the energies have been wonky, man. But like last week, it's for the past week or two, I have been peeing a lot more than usual. I've been drinking a lot of water, and then, as a result, so evacuating stuff from my system, obviously, but I never get up in the middle of the night to pee. Like I've never, had to urinate frequently in the middle of the night ever, unless there's something going on with my body, and illness, or intaking more fluids. So I would I'm not used to getting woke up, and it doesn't make me in a good mood. If I don't get all my sleep, I'm like Krabby Patty. All right, so I'm being honest. Big time wonky, right? So it could be the energies, it could be, you've been peeing way more than usual lately too. Okay. So it's not just me. There's a lot going on in our oceans right now, right? We've got those ancient waters that are starting to surface. You noticed it last week too. Twinsies, our bladder routines, we're sinking. um, could have you feeling Nine of Pentacles reverse, like things aren't going right, or mentally, emotionally imbalanced, or whatever, or just out of whack with your schedule, with your body's rhythms. I know I have been, but I've noticed that my sleep schedule, like whenever I get tired and I'm able to go to bed at night, um, I've been going to bed with enough time to get some rest before I have to wake up and do the school schedule thing. So that's been, syncing for me more so lately, my circadian rhythm. But now my body is shifting and changing, and I'm peeing a lot more, and I'm drinking a lot more water. So you could have something like that going on. Symbol of transformation, they said. I had that happen to me last week, getting up to pee Tuesday night. Dang. Yeah, it just, we're purging a lot, we're releasing a lot. It's the end of the eclipse portal. We're still going to be in these energies for a little while, but it's starting to come to a conclusion. So there's a rebirth happening, and when you're going through the birthing process, whenever it's crowning, it's a tight squeeze, right, for both mother and child, I would assume. um, you guys that have done the vaginal birth can tell me all about that, but I never got that experience. I got cut from hip to hip 3 times. Anyway, so it's a tight squeeze for mother and child, Um, so it's not pleasant for either party involved, but whether you are birthing something, or you are this, they're saying it's both, because you're birthing like this new version of yourself. You're birthing yourself, okay? Might sound a little strange, but that's what it is. You are birthing this new version of yourself. You're birthing your Empress season, okay? And that is card number 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 3 is creation. Empress is the mother. It is the divine feminine energy, and in the Light Seers Tarot. You guys know the one. Um, for the life of me, I couldn't think of it, and that's been my go-to deck so long. But on the Empress card in that deck, it's a pregnant mother, and her belly is Earth. Um, so you very much are birthing something new, and really in tune with your divine feminine right now. So part of the healthy divine feminine is, you got smile scars. Is that feeling dry mouth and weird pain on your left side of your head? Huh. Um, do some healing work there, Matt, and open up to what needs to come through. It might be something that's buried for a while, or something that would be difficult for you to um, uncover. So there's some resistance there. Has the thing happened yet with Waters channeled prediction on something happening mid-April to May? Um, Like, you're asking the wrong person. Hold on, water. Because I forgot about that until you mentioned that. Like, yeah, I was kind of there for that. No, it's on the cusp. It's being ushered in by the porpoises and the whales. They're ushering this in. It's like a grand parade. So that, thank you for asking that question, because I totally forgot about that. And then I did mention yesterday about the whales and dolphins and stuff. Didn't even put two and two together. Thank you. So time to let go. Part of that divine feminine is releasing what doesn't serve you. Um, you know, she is the nurturer, she is the mother, she is the caretaker. So when there is someone wounded or there's a wound within herself, she tends the wounds. Okay. You've been wondering. Yeah, well, you're probably picking up on intuitively you're very connected, so you're probably picking up on the fact that it's about to happen. So um that prompted your memory of what water channeled, or yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, Empress, and then right behind that Empress, also bottom of the deck, this chatty bottom of the deck, the Fool. You're getting ready to step forward on this new path, okay? Geez, major arcana up the wazoo. That's the Empress, the Fool, and then we have Justice right behind that, okay? This is balance. This is you balancing that masculine and feminine energy, perhaps, or coming back into balance after these triggering situations or life circumstances. This card is golden. So that I heard golden opportunity, something that is going to balance and restore. So some kind of golden opportunity coming into balance and restore, where you have perhaps been chasing it down. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Suzanne, hello, love you. Drive safely. Um, you're doing a river and sea meditation tomorrow. I love how your meditations and your little workshops synchronize with the podcast topics, like right before it happens. That's so awesome. Um, so, or it could be something I heard, also something that's stuck. And this is masculine tangible energy. So it could be some kind of an opportunity or some kind of situation. It could be a promotion. It could be, anything that, like, you're expecting this huge upgrade to happen, this tangible thing to take place, but it's like it's not coming. It's not being delivered. It hasn't shipped yet. You know what I mean? It's like stuck at shipping facility, and it should have been here by now, but here it is showing up on the tracker stuck. It could be an actual package even. But that's how they're relaying this information to me. How I, in a relatable way, gotcha. They're like, language is like, yeah, you can blend words together and people know what you're talking about. I do it all the time. It is amazing, Katie. I love it. I love it so much. So whatever has been imbalanced, it could be also your toxic masculine, that wounded masculine within you. You've been bringing this into balance. You've been tending the wound. You've been very much in that Empress energy. Ten of Swords in the reverse. So this has already been dead, done, and over with. Time to release it. Let it go to spirit. Okay, let it go to the ether. Let that energy go, carry on and take some other form, shape somewhere else, and welcome in these new energies, because 10 breaks down to 1, and 10 of Swords in the reverse would be the Ace of Swords, okay, in the upright. That is that new phase, that new download. It could be a download, it could be an idea. An idea is a download, but like inspiration, um, that aha moment, or finally seeing like the solution or the path that you really want to take. Like, for instance, if somebody that is in college or about to go to college or something like that, trying to figure out what they want to do, what they want to major in, and it's like crunch time and they need to figure out what it is they want to do, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I want to go to trade school because my hobby is what I really want to pay for to be educated on, and certified in, so I can make money doing what I enjoy. So it's like, at first you're like, oh my gosh, focused on, I have to go to university, I have to choose some kind of a major or something like that, and you never even considered doing what you love. Hi, Shauna. Or going to a trade school or something like that. And like you're like stressed out for so many months trying to figure out what you want to major in, where you want to go, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, you know, you may be doing something that you like to do, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can do this and get paid for it. I can go to trade school for a lot shorter than going to a college, pay a lot less money to do it, and then start making money immediately. Like welders, they make tons of money, you know? So I don't know if you're debating on going to trade school, and, you know, that might be your confirmation. So it is what it is. Lots of options, lots of different choices. And this isn't like the kind of scary confusion aspect of the Seven of Cups that we normally might get, like especially if it's in the reverse. But a lot of times it talks about just having all of these options, but also being kind of mindful of what you're choosing. But the rose in the center is what's really like drawing my attention, and then the wings and the cup under that. So enlightenment, realizations, new opportunities, easier existence, right? Um, and after a period of difficulty, roses are given to people, yes, as a symbol of love, but a lot of times, let's fucking be real here. Roses are given at funerals, you know, for a period of grief, or after a period of grief, or if someone's had a rough time, you want to send them flowers, you know, to brighten their day. So, yes, it's a symbol of love, but oftentimes roses are given at, you know, after or during difficult times. Um, so this is also a rosebud, you know, a budding rose. It takes a while, but it does, petal by petal, it starts to unfurl and it starts to blossom and grow and become so much bigger than the original bud. So what you thought that you might have wanted, or the way you thought things were going to go, it's like now that you've done all of this work, now that you have done, you know, maintained your balance, or found your balance, found your footing, things are starting to smooth out. But not only that, they're blossoming bigger than you could have imagined. This is gifts. This is rewards after, you know, a period of death and rebirth. We have the death card also showing up, and it is in the reverse. So this is talking about that rebirth, just like that Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords reversed and the death card reversed. You're doing it. You're no longer settling for, you know, half empty cups, or like half-assed apologies. So I don't know, you might not be allowing someone back in your life. Hi, Erin. Nice to see you in here again, love. Thank you for joining us. All right. Well, if I can reach, I've got stuff like squished up here, guys. My fingers don't want to grab the cards. Okay, we have rebel, because fuck it. Okay. Do your own thing. Go your own way. Forge your own path. Stop settling. Okay. Four of Cups is showing up in the reverse, talking about overcoming this period of not recognizing your blessings and your gifts. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, they're not even seeing that cup being handed to them out of the sky. They're just kind of like feeling unfulfilled, you know, so in their emotions, that they're not seeing this fulfilling opportunity, this Ace of Cups being dangled right in front of their face. But in this card, they are seeing it. So I really feel like you're starting to see past the illusions, and you're no longer manifesting these illusory situations or people in your life. Shame, regret, and guilt, those are just bullshit. Forgive, let that shit go. Okay, another card of letting go. So whatever it is, that it could be re-traumatizing, re-triggering, Stop going in and reliving those things, because you are re-traumatizing yourself. Doing shadow work doesn't mean to re-traumatize yourself, to relive that experience, because your brain, your physical body, does not know the difference between, remembering and going through some kind of a vision, or actually in the experience. So don't put yourself there, because you're re-traumatizing yourself. You don't have to go back and relive the situation. You can just have the knowledge that that is what happened, and work with that, work from there, being able to forgive the situation, release, let go. Forgiveness doesn't mean that that situation was okay. Forgiveness is just the act of letting go for yourself, so it's no longer poisoning you. Because if you're holding on to that toxin in your body, you're not getting back at anyone, the person that injected it into you. You're just poisoning yourself, over and over and over again. You need some fucking yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. Get back into ancient shit. It doesn't even need to be yoga, but definitely move your body, especially if you are working through some kind of difficult shadow work, or releasing. You can do breath work to release. You can do Ho'oponopono. Thank you, Katie. You can do qigong. You can do like all kinds of different things to move your body that are like spiritually focused, or you can just go on a walk with the intention to release this energy, or to get the energy, the momentum moving in whatever direction is your intent. So maybe you need to work with that to bring this golden opportunity, right? Go on a walk and say, I'm walking for this cause, and this cause is my bank account increasing, or meeting somebody that can be my friend, partner, whatever, you fill in the blank. Just do something intentionally to get that momentum going. Qigong is your favorite. Dance, yes, shake your booty. Release, and also dance you is very much sowing also intention into your reality in a fun way, where your inner child can be free, and you're in this joyful energy that's just really like a beacon for this light, and it's like you're beaming out light, and you're attracting just as much as you're beaming out. So that would be perfect, princess, to dance and sow those intentions, and to dance also to release the residual energies, those burdens, right? We've got the 10 of wands here, but 10 of wands breaks down to a 1, down to that ace of wands. Okay, you're almost there. We got the ace of wands too. You're almost there, but you have to overcome this conflict. 5 of wands in the reverse is overcoming conflict. This could be conflicting energies within yourself. It could be because you needed to balance that masculine and feminine. You needed to heal those wounded masculine wounds within you, so that you can bring that into balance, and then the masculine and feminine into balance and harmony, so that you can, 4 of Pentacles, solid foundations. Sometimes this can be holding on to something, which, yes, that could definitely be the case. We have 4 of Pentacles with right next to that 10 of wands, so it could be holding on to these burdens, and that's what you need to release, because that's what's conflicted within you and not allowing your life to progress forward. But also it's like very much talking about solid foundations and preserving your own energy, um, to focus on what you're doing for you. Okay. Um, yeah, stop overburdening yourself with others' situations, others' problems, other people's emotions, trying to cater to them instead of fulfilling yourself, giving of yourself so it'll satisfy them, but it's depleting you. You need to cut that shit out, because that's what's, halting that Ace of Pentacles. You are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. You are here to be love. To be love, you have to love yourself. So when you love yourself, you're abundant, your cup is running over. You don't entertain situations or people who take from you, who don't pour back into you just as much as you pour into them. With self love, your standards are higher. And when your standards are higher, just in relationships, in human interactions, your standards across the board are going to heighten. The abundance is going to start flowing at a higher rate. Um, because wherever you're feeling abundant in your life, that's going to spill over to other aspects, the spillover effect, just like we talk about energetically when something is off. It's the same as whenever there's something going well, some kind of really positive energy. So um, they're talking about getting into doing things that evoke these kinds of emotions from you, the emotion of abundance, of security, safety, of trusting, um, and of being able to trust enough to be vulnerable with others. Um, so all of the positive things that you want, all of these things that you want to manifest in your life, start creating more space for those experiences, even in smaller ways. Let's say you are wanting to manifest a ton of money, really well off, or financial security, whatever. So you really want to manifest that, but right now you can't go really have a spa day and go buy a brand new wardrobe or whatever, but you can go get a Kit Kat at the gas station, okay? And light some Walmart tea lights in the bathtub and put on some music and put your smelly good stuff in there, whatever you need to do, okay? Tap into that luxury or that abundance or that love and give it to yourself. Don't go seeking it from other people. Give it to yourself. Treat yourself the way that you should be treated by others, the way that you deserve to be treated by others, okay? And stop beating yourself up. Don't know who that's for, but um, believe what you see, face reality, or live in fucking la la land. Choose bravely. So don't go seeking attention and love from anyone and everyone who will give it to you, okay? Just because they act nice to you for a little bit, or they really love bomb you and stroke your ego until they get what they want and then they're gone, or you need something and they can't do it. They're busy, they've got something else going on, they can't make it, they don't have it, whatever. Believe what you see. Those are red flags, okay? But believe the green flags too, because you're not always only going to be cautioned away from these difficult things, these negative things, or these other things. You're also going to receive green flags. You're going to be receiving signs, symbols. Oh my gosh, I had the most beautiful bird show up today outside my window where I've been feeding my birds. I've been telling you guys about it. Um, I have all the same kinds of birds that come, and they're so cute and I love them. Very colorful too. But this one showed up that I haven't seen before, ever in person or in a picture. Like, I don't know what kind of bird this is. So I take a picture of it and I ask my chat GPT, and I don't remember what it said it was, but it's this rare bird that is rare for this area, and it's a traveling bird, and it only shows up, kind of sporadically from time to time. And the spiritual symbolism, because my chat GPT is always giving me spiritual symbolism for anything I ask about. um, she was like, oh, this is what it means. And it means like unexpected good things happening, unexpected abundance in all kinds of different ways, new opportunities after a period of growth, after a period of difficulty. And with me getting my car back soon, my vehicle, my vessel for moving from point A to point B, I love it, I'm comfortable in it, it's just me. I haven't had that in a while, so I've been kind of without. Not without, because Jay is amazing and he let me borrow his car. But you know what I mean. It's my car, but I can't drive it and I miss it. So it's a period of difficulty, having to figure out how I'm gonna, whose car can I borrow until my car's done, that kind of thing. So after this period of difficulty, I am about to have it back, and it's going to be back in way better shape, and it's going to last a long time. And who knows what else is in store for me, what kind of great, amazing gifts and things that are just going to manifest for me. So I'm really excited about that. So it could be something similar for you after a period of difficulty, having things really start to go your way again, grow your way again. So believe in what you see. Allow these little signs, these little, flashes of glitter, these little moments of light to inspire you and to show you the evidence of, hey, better things are manifesting for you. Things are really starting to move forward momentum. Okay. So that bird for me, and then having my vehicle, getting my forward momentum again, is really synchronistic and beautiful. And I pay attention to the signs like that. Like, I'm going to notice a different kind of bird than my little bird homies that always visited me every day. And I'm going to ask what it is about. So I recognize the signs, the numbers, different things. So recognize the patterns, and it's not always for the red flags. Okay. Start paying attention with the intent to see the green flags and see how much your life improves, instead of being overly cautious and manifesting things to be cautious about. Manifest being excited about what's to come, because this is a clue. This is evidence that my manifestations are coming online. My abundance is everywhere. I'm seeing a little glitter here, a little glitter there. And then as I'm really registering in this field of all of this glitter, I look around and it's like piles of gold everywhere. Now everything's sparkling because you started honing in and focusing on that abundance. So now it's tangibilized because it's been there the whole time. It's been there in the quantum, but you started observing it. So now it's starting to show up more and more and more. Even if it's just signs at first telling you you're abundant and your abundance is here and blah, 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 be grateful, be in that gratitude about every single sparkle, and just collect it and say, thank you. I'm going to put this in my knapsack and I'm going to carry this around with me, and I'm going to notice all of them. And my bank account's full, whether that's your spiritual bank account, your money bank account, your relationship bank account, whatever it is, you're putting that shit in your purse, your good purse. Okay, Kara. I know she's probably not in here right now because she's working, but yeah, you're taking that in your knapsack, and then you're taking that with you. We have, ooh, your life is unfolding as it should. Look at you with all them glitters around you, them little sparkles you're noticing, lighting you up, starting to make you a magnet for opportunities, for abundance. Reflective ripples. Be mindful of the impact your actions and choices in your journey. So these decisions, these opportunities, when they come up, ask yourself, is this for me? Is this, meant for me to act on? Because we did get that, inspired action, or that masculine energy, being a balanced masculine, a divine masculine energy. They are selective over what opportunities they seize. They don't just chase down every single opportunity, because they understand that not all that glitters is gold. So make sure you're not looking at the sparkly turds around you in your field. Make sure you're picking up all them diamonds that are glittering. Okay. So ask yourself, is this a good choice for me in my journey right now? And really feel into your body, because your body will respond to you. Renewed hope. Find hope and inspiration in the darkest moments, embracing new beginnings. This is telling you about your new beginnings. Look at the horizon. It's beautiful. Look at all that water. You're tapped in. You're going with the flow. You understand there's an ebb and a flow to life, but you're ready for that abundance to flow in whatever shape that takes for you in your own experience. It means something different for everyone. But being mindful of the choices that you make, the the paths you choose to walk down, the people that you place in your life, the situations you give your time to. Be mindful of that. And when it feels right, do it. When it feels right, do it. So this portal, okay, we've been talking about this portal. Oh, it's raining again. It's big old fat rain. I don't know, maybe it might be snow, like ice, like sleet. I don't know. But we're getting cleansing water right now. So when it feels right, do it. There's a portal that is open for you. You've been setting your intentions. You know what you're doing. You're looking for the signs. And whenever it feels right, when that opportunity feels right, seize it. Okay. Look at that shiny, glittery, beautiful spectacle inside of that portal. They're like, this is all them diamonds you've been collecting. Do the thing. It's all them little sparkles you've been collecting, all in the center of this portal. Okay, now step through. This is your magic. Flourishing not, discover the mysteries of life, finding wisdom in its intricate beauty. Go down the rabbit hole. Go within. Discover yourself a bit deeper. Do the thing. Be curious. Be like a child. Embrace that inner child and go through your life with wonderment and curiosity. That's how you make the magic happen. Okay? That's how it happens. You go within. So go within. Tap into that sacral. Look at this card. What? Sacral poppin'. Create the magic because you are the magic. You just have conscious awareness with a physical vessel. You are the magic wand. So direct your energy and watch your reality take shape around you. Connected crossroads, make choices thoughtfully and recognize the impact of your connections. Again, talking about decisions and their impact. So ask yourself, what kind of impact will this decision have on my life a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now? And if there's no impact that it's going to even have, and it's going to cost you energy and not much, fruitful, not much fruit coming off that tree, then don't place your energy there. Don't invest there because you're not going to get a good return on that. All is well. So don't just seize every opportunity because it's an opportunity. Okay. Stay in your heart space. That green. Okay. That green is that heart space. Look at that. It's a lady sitting, just chilling, all up in the universe. No real shape, no real form, but you can see her there. Meditate on that heart chakra. Ask yourself, does this feel right for me? Don't just seize it because it's an opportunity. You wouldn't just go on a date with someone because they walked in front of you and you, like, today, right in that moment, you decided, hey, I think I'm ready to start dating again. And then someone just walks in front of you and they're like, oh, you want to go on a date? I don't know you. I'm not going to go somewhere alone with you, you weirdo. Like, I'll maybe we'll start talking on social media or something from time to time, but no. But I don't know. Maybe it's like your eyes meet theirs and it's just like, you know what? Here's my number. And then you guys start going from there. It could be a magical thing. No judgment. But I would be weirded out and I'd be like, no. But your experience is much different than mine. So maybe it's that one that walks up to you and you're like, hallelujah. I don't know your business. I don't know your life. Okay. All is well. Just follow that heart chakra, listen and lean into the heart space and say, is this a good decision for me to make to go on a date with this person right now that's perfect stranger just because I decided today I'm going to start dating and they crossed my path, but they kind of look like they might be a serial killer? Sure, why not? I'll get in your van. No. Ask yourself, is this safe for me? Is this something that may pay off really well? Does the risk outweigh the reward? What's going on here? Feel how your body feels, how it responds to this person's energy or this situation's energy before you go and getting in any kind of creepy vans. Okay. That's all I'm saying. But purge the emotional toxicity so you don't go manifesting situations for yourself like that creeper van. Okay, you need a good fucking cry. Get the ugly cry on it. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. So again, third card talking about release of letting go of these conflicts with others or situations, conflicting schedules, even take it how it applies to you. But it's, if it's about scheduling and not having enough time and you're just kind of scattered and all over the place and feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, then you need to stop giving to so many situations. I don't care if you have to take a vacation for a mental health break. Do whatever you need to do to get back into balance, to get back into that heart space and into that sacral, because you're birthing this new future. It comes, as a result of death and rebirth, letting go of these things, okay, releasing all of the overwhelm, the overstimulation, the people that sap you dry, the energies and situations that take from you, um, to make room for all of these new opportunities that are coming in, because they are. Okay, your foundations are set. You've already set the intentions. The world around you might be shifting right now. It might not be solid and set in stone and your manifestations to fruition already, but it doesn't mean they're not coming. Okay, they're right fucking there. Look at you, little peacock. That's going to be big, it's going to be bold, it's going to be beautiful. So stop being a little pessimist. Okay, eat something if you're hangry, or take a nap, go to sleep if you're tired, because the rebel deck said you are and you're being a big fucking baby. So balance yourself, rest yourself, rejuvenate yourself, replenish, okay, restore, and then move forward, because you've got amazing opportunities coming in. Use your discernment. Okay, those residual energies are still on their way out. So you don't want to choose something that's going to cycle you back in the same old shit. You want to choose something new, right? That's what you've been asking for. That's what you've been setting with your intentions. But before those things come around, you will have energies offered to you by the universe. Hey, here's a situation or a person, just like that last one. Smell it. Does it smell good? You want to eat that? You want to go down that road? You want to do this again? No. Okay. Don't do it. It's a trick. Listen to your intuition, feel how your body responds to the situation, to the person, whatever, and follow that. Follow your heart. I love you. Did that last year going alone to Portugal, and it still having a positive effect on you now. I love that, Anna. That is so awesome. Totally something that I would do if I didn't have children, like most of my life. For most of my life now, I've had children. So, but yeah, that sounds like so much fun. And you've mentioned it a few times to us and like posted it and stuff, so I know it made a huge impact on you, and I love that you had that experience. Okay, let me restore the voice box here. Cool, we got some time. So we're talking about human biosuits, and not in the way that we often talk about them, like this is our biosuit, right? And our soul is just kind of driving it for now. Others use biosuits too. And we know, we've seen like videos, there's been like TikToks and all these different people doing videos on this celebrity that glitched, or this one that, said something about the wrong family and then like disappeared and then came back totally different and like fell in line. um, so they are used for other agendas too, and they can be artificially created. We've heard about cloning and growing, harvesting these biovessels, and they can be artificially animated by like some kind of like AI technology, right? Like a robot. They give us all of this information in the form of fiction movies, right? They reveal everything in their it's like anti-propaganda propaganda. You're welcome, guys. Thank you. So they're always giving us these truths, right? So why do you think there's so many like humanoid looking robot AI movie things that have been coming out for the last couple of decades, at least, right? Didn't it start with iRobot? Wasn't that one of the first? Well, no, like Terminator and stuff, because the liquid dude. That's right. But yeah, and Arnold had his skin over the. Gotcha. Okay. But the AI kind, um, like that's been portrayed in movies in the past recent couple of decades have been more so humanistic looking, and I don't know, I guess their CGI or their ability to create these machines into actors has advanced, since Terminator days, since the 80s. um, so yeah, they're shifting and changing. Hey, Cassandra. They can also be controlled by like partially the original soul kind of inhabiting, but mostly influence, right? We understand that as entity influence, um, or possession in some cases. There are also walk-ins. We've heard of this with, people having spiritual transformations and going from one life to a completely spiritual life, and like having a soul walk-in. But hold on, I feel like I have a cat here. I see something in my vision. um, so they can also, for lower purposes, have a lower frequency entity type energy take, as a step in, come into that vessel. It can, yeah, well, that's a lot to get into. Um, or they can be like brainwashed, programmed, you know what I mean? Why do you think like implanting and things like that, especially with celebrities and politicians and well-known people, the commercials and the causes that they stand behind, and these companies that they get paid to support, they're all part of pushing this propaganda, this agenda. um, there are so many agendas, but mostly, they're aligned to the same trajectory, the same path. Um, so let me see. We talked about those. Um, oh, yes. Okay. So entities can also do spells and use glamour magic. Um, and this is oftentimes, um, if the the walk-in type of situation, they will use these glamour spells. The So there's a person that they're bringing up. You guys have all probably heard of this person, Lady Gaga, right? There's a whole like dark uh, story about how she even came into stardom, came into her discovery, and it does have to do with sacrificing another. Anyway, um, there's a point where this person had full walk-in. This person, from the perspective that I'm viewing, this is for entertainment purposes only. Keep that in mind. Um, the way that I'm perceiving this is that person had been for a while influenced by external forces, beings, entities, okay? And then at the point, there was like this crossing. So this being opened themselves up to, for the benefit of what they, the life they live now. It's not really them, because there's a walk-in situation. Um, if you guys understand that, you understand that. Can't go into talking about that. That could take up a lot of time, because I know people are curious about those things. I'm not really a celebrity follower. So yeah, Beyonce too. And they'll oftentimes they will say it. They're not trying to hide it. They're not. And then you think, oh, why are she and her husband involved in this horrible thing that came out around 2020 about Hollywood celebrities and stuff, and the stuff that they harvest from children and the Pizzagate stuff. Anyway, um okay, it's all, you guys get it. So oftentimes, these celebrities and stuff, they have perfect bodies, right? Whether that's through surgical procedures or cloning or, being created to be a celebrity and put on there. There are things even like about Katy Perry, how people believe that she was John Benet Ramsey and then was, taken and made a celebrity or whatever. So no, that's not John Benet. Um, Modeled after that particular, yes, but yeah, very very dark. And these are entities that do the glamour magic. That, I mean, have you ever looked at Lady Gaga? She is not a particularly attractive vessel, right? Without all the makeup and the crazy stuff, like this, no one would even bat an eye at this person on the street. You know what I mean? But glamour spells, right? So those kinds of things happen as well. Oh yeah, that's what those concerts and stuff are all about, is harvesting energy. Artists, even artists that don't do this intentionally, right? They talk about how they feel so amped up, they feel like everyone's energy, and they're just wired for like days even after a show, because that's what it, all of this human energy for the, hey Kara, for the same, with the same focus, observing the same thing and loving, and becoming so fully engrossed and losing themselves. People lose themselves in music and stuff all the time, right? So they're all becoming one energy, and that's directed at these performers. So people are serving their energy up, giving that to the performers, and the performers are taking it on, whether they consciously are aware of that or not. That's just how it works. But these producers and these record labels and all of these, um, the bigger companies that do, it's not just with music, it's with actors and movies and stuff. They understand this at a very deep level. They're very aware of this, and that's why these things have been created this way. um so yeah. Like if it's a band that, or an artist that you resonate with, that has, that you are trust has good intentions, like there's all kinds of spiritual artists and stuff out there now, or like, you know, there's a lot of artists that don't do this for those malevolent reasons. So if you feel comfortable and you feel, charged up by going, then absolutely do that. But yeah, they do set these up in that way to harvest energies, just like at Rihanna concerts and stuff. Um, so yes, some of these beings in these celebrity or, world stage vessels, some of them are partially there. Some of them are not truly human. Some of them are controlled by other forces or stepped in, to their vessel by another force, by in which case they would be sent back into the recycling pool to come out at a later date, stuck on the same energy archons, cage stuff like that. Yeah, that they're showing me archons of people in cages. Anyway, souls, like, yeah, because they can't really move on while they're, it's like they've sublet their body out. So they're still bound to the contract of that vessel technically, but they can't really skip the state until it's, the end of the lease is up, I guess. Anywho, the glamour and perfection illusion, um, they they embody themselves in these unattainable ways, for a natural human being, they tweak themselves with surgeries and or are created in that way, and you can tell because there's perfect symmetry, there's no flaws. The skin might look slightly weird, and that's why I used the Edgar suit concept for today's episode, because their skin looks weird sometimes, right? I know I can tell them like they didn't get their skin right when they created that, or maybe they need to go get a recharge, get some kind of a refiller there on that skin. Um, but no matter what it is, they're always trying to portray this illusion of what they call beauty, so that people are feeling bad about themselves, they're feeling down on their own bodies, right? They're cursing their very divine vessel, and whenever they're out of balance in that way, and they're focused more on, exalting these perceived people as the beautiful ones, the ones to follow. You want to know what's going on in their lives because they're rich and they're all beautiful and they're all this and that. You're down on yourself. You don't feel good about your circumstances, your situation. You manifest lower frequency shit for yourself, and you're still focused on them and what they're doing. So you're not worried about, how they're taking more control of you and how they're pushing their agendas, because you're like, oh, yeah, this person is beautiful and they live this life, so I should, align myself to be like them. um so they portray this false sense of beauty to keep people out of alignment with their true divinity. Gray look gray looking and empty brains, right? Okay. So let me scroll down here. I've got my outline of everything I wanted to go over. Oh, you will also notice lifeless eyes. Like they don't have that soul spark in them. The Lizzies. What's the Lizzies? Oh, yes, lizards. Gotcha. The lizard people. Yes. Um, so whenever there are also, so the lifeless eyes, right, shows, you see eyeballs there, but they don't really register as having life in them. um that's something that you can tell right off the bat. They might have scripted emotional reactions, like they're acting, and you can tell, that they're acting even in like interviews or perceived real life situations, right? TMZ follows them around and says this is their real life, so that must be true. That kind of thing. So these, emotional reactions that seem like they're not true human reactions, like you can just tell, especially if you're empathic. Um, and also they might have like robotic mannerisms or just not. So they're bringing my attention to this scene in one of the Twilight movies. It's after Bella became a vampire, and they were like coaching her on how to not be so perfect, and like you need to slouch a little bit, not stand up so straight, and you need to like breathe, and you need to remember to blink, and like teaching her how to look human even though she was just human, right? So that they might seem a little too poised or a little too perfect, a little too, not human, just like Bella before, after right after she became a vampire. Anyway, which they are vampires. They're siphoning your energy whenever you watch them on TV and you're engrossed in it and you're focused on them and you're glorifying them. And, I'm not saying that every time you watch a TV program or anything like that, that you're, giving them your energy, consciously being aware of the stuff and watching and not getting engaged and not, glorifying them as gods, right? Then you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. But yeah, they do set these things up to harvest, siphon, and to it's propaganda. You'll see celebrities, dude, like every celebrity is a Democrat. Okay. Something that I've noticed. I'm not for either side or any side. They're all the same damn bird. But more often than not, and I'm like, and they always really say, like, they really claim it, and they really, like, in TV shows from way back decades ago, even 90s TV shows, you know. Um, they're always like trying to push that certain perspective or agenda or political party. They mention it, you know, in TV shows and stuff, but that's the only one. And, you know, things like that I've picked up. Um, but they'll all start pushing the same like styles or um, products or the same idea of having to, you know, get this the next new great thing, the next version of the iPhone, the next version of whatever. um they're running off of a collective template amongst the programming that they share. Okay, so it's just like ads in more of a what people would say is a physical human being form. um Hold on, let me, there's a concert with Travis Scott where I think people actually collapsed and possibly passed away. Don't remember exactly. Dang. Um, yeah, I would say probably tremendous siphoning going on there. Definitely energies that were impactful, we'll say. I don't know who that is though, that artist. But I don't follow that stuff, so I wouldn't know anyone. Like the old ones from when I was growing up and had commercials bombarding me and people, you know, my family interested in that stuff. Yeah, I know those ones. But yeah, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Okay, so very apparent ritual. Okay, yeah. Then yeah. They weren't even trying to hide it. Very, very potent in your face, very potent energetic siphoning going on there. He didn't stop the show when people were being squished. Oh my gosh, he's a rapper. Recent years. Huh. That's, yeah, that's insane. And a lot of times for an actual person to become famous, they'll have to go through some kind of initiation. Um where they have to make some kind of sacrifice, right? Whether that's someone in their own family, usually, or someone close to them in some way like that. Or they could set up these harvesting things. If y'all think Kobe's exit was an accident, that was to mark some kind of an alignment. It was some kind of a ritualistic sacrifice of energy. So whenever you see these things, like Selena, okay, up and coming Latina artist, really, before her English album released, um, there are, and it's not just for like their own family's gain or anything like that, but they will make these sacrifices of these people they could have made a lot of money on, young blood, right? Or someone that they have made and has a great reputation is still doing great things, but they're going to cut it short. They're going to make this sacrifice to get an even greater gain. So these, and by them I'm talking about like the handlers of these talents, the ones above them, right? The ones orchestrating it all. So, of course, they're like the Rothschild, y'all. Look at their skin, okay? And then what's her name? Hilton married one, and how robotic, like how much more she became after that. From what I just saw, like I said, I don't follow these things, but I've noticed things whenever I've seen them, and I'm like, dang. Um, so yeah, there's a lot going on, and they all, of course, will have these pre-programmed perspectives or things that they speak on, or these collective groups for causes that they make. Like take Ashton Kutcher, right? He is the one that was like, oh, I made this organization to help rescue kids and people in the sex trafficking industry, and I'm this great guy that saves these abused people, these trafficked people, but he's got direct ties to some of the most heinous offenders that have been being exposed. So, if you know anything about the Amber Alert thing in the US, that is, that was crafted to keep tabs on these missing people, children, and not all of them are ever found. Okay. And the higher ups are the only ones that know, like, okay. Um, so yeah, they're tracking in many different ways. They are conducting their business in many different ways right in front of your face. And they'll say, "Oh, I'm completely opposed to and against trafficking and child abuse and all of these things," whenever they've got stakes, sometimes even financial stakes in these profiting, trafficking, whatever they say that they're against these anti-whatevers. They're directly receiving funds from the ones that do it, but they're the cover up, right? Um, y'all got hoodwinked. And it's not funny. It's maddening, and that's why I'm laughing. It's like Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderberg, goes on and on. Yeah. Yep. Um, and they're not even actually the main controllers if you want to really know the truth. They're also um, they're puppeted vessels basically, but the same ones, same bloodline, same harvest, different crops. You could say it like that. Um, okay, we've got about 10 minutes more, and then I have to leave to pick up my children. So let's get this show on the road. So the further away from a natural alignment that a being moves, so if they are, has something or some other entity is coming in and using their vessel for things, you'll see less and less of their original light. One of those, Jim Carrey, okay, he started speaking out. He started really getting out there, talking about manifestation and the way that things work. And then all of a sudden he went a little nutso, a little bit. And I know that they paint them like that, just like they did with Michael Jackson, painting him, portraying him as this thing that he was actually, trying to figure out how to whistleblow against. They will portray them as the exact thing so that nobody believes a word that they say, right? So they're going to portray him as being super crazy. But there are programs and things, um, magic, things like that, where if someone doesn't know their sovereignty fully, like he probably didn't, um, that can take over you. Um, Meeting with UK government the other day, Noah's been in the news. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. He's buying up property all over the world to try to put the one world thing into effect, because how is anyone going to live in a house that's not owned by, you know there's an agenda, and he's buying up farmland left and right. Like, how are you going to get any kind of food that's not GMO and poisoned to death if it's not coming from the only farmland that's allowed to farm anymore? So yeah, but the more maintenance that it requires once those beings become less present, okay, there's more upkeep that's necessary to maintain the vessel, because that source light, that chi, right, is no longer coming into the vessel as often or at all. So they have to maintain by doing these, body work, basically take it to the body shop, um, in order to hold that illusion together. And like, bringing up Madonna, her face is completely different. She looks like she tried to get plastic surgery to become like a jungle cat or something. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to make fun of her at all. It's just like there's so much that has happened, and there's also been many like breakdowns and drug use and all of these things that made her open and susceptible to being infiltrated in that way. So I can guarantee you that ain't Madonna no more. But the cracks are beginning to show. People are starting to see all of these beings. Their masks are slipping, sometimes quite literally. They're shorting out, they're glitching, their skin is hanging in unnatural ways. It's becoming very apparent. And the higher frequency this plane evolves to, ascends to, the less ability the facade is going to have to be maintained. So like you're not going to see them able to keep up with um the energetic shifts like the natural human vessel does. And I'm not saying at all that if you've had any kind of plastic surgery that you're fake, or that there's anything wrong with that or anything like that, because there absolutely is not. Okay, only whenever it's because you're rejecting your own vessel, and have those kinds of issues with disconnect and those kinds of things. um oh yeah, Lindsay Lohan, she looks strange. Also, like Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus looks really off, like super off to me too. Like, I don't know, I can just see it. And I know that other people are starting to see it too. Like, you can't not see videos in your feed that talk about those kinds of things if you have any kind of subscription to spiritual communities or groups or pages or anything like that. They I know they show up in my, like, in the reels or the shorts or whatever. Those kinds of things always pop up. And I don't TikTok, but still. Oh, she looks amazing today. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen her lately. I'll have to look into, but probably some kind of upgrade to that, because there are instances when someone will go like completely fall off, or something happens and they're not alive anymore. There's like a brief period where they're just nowhere, and then all of a sudden they come out and they're like beautified and they're fresh faced, and they're like going on with their career and doing these things with their career and stuff. So yeah, so definitely get upgrades, or they will be like a lot of child stars do, or child singers do. They go off the rails. They get addicted to drugs and other self-sabotaging behaviors and all of these because of what they've been through. Not all of them are sexually abused and things like that in their job, in their career, but they're overworked and they're treated like adults, and they're not meant to be children whenever they have a career. And it really fucks with and fragments these children. So sometimes you'll see them go off the rails and go and have this thing, but then at some point they restart their career and they're all better, and they're like, oh, I went to rehab, and I do skin rejuvenation, and I went to this mud bath in Bali and spent 5 weeks there, whatever it is. They'll have some kind of an excuse why they're all like magically better. Um, look deeper. Look deeper, guys. It's always for some kind of agenda, or that specific physical model was making a lot of really good money before it started, going off the rails or causing issues. So they reprogram, or they, discard and recreate, and then put that out into the public, and they're now this spokesperson for sobriety. um it's a really sick game, and it's not funny at all. It's just uncomfortable and weird, and I don't like it. So when I laugh, Ugh. Um, okay. So when people emotionally invest in these hollow shells, they're investing their energy into them, right? Um, the real human energy is siphoned and redirected to systems of control. They harvest this energy, they siphon this energy, and then they harness it and they put it wherever they want it to go. Of course, they're going to try to maintain the facade of control. So they're going to invest that energy, your energy, into the control mechanism. Um, so, yeah, um, the celebrity stunts, the scandals, you know, all of these, like, what do they call it? Reality shows. They're not reality at all, but they call them reality shows. All of those things keep people distracted from their spiritual journeys, from their true selves, from even having, you know, doing anything with their spare time when they're not working and coming home, cooking dinner, going to sleep, working, coming home, cooking dinner, going to sleep. You know, it takes some out of that schedule too. So they basically have no time to dedicate to really connecting to the true reality of who they are, their true authentic self. They want to, you know, be invested in someone else's perceived experience because that's not their life. This can definitely take on non-celebrity form, absolutely. um, there's main players and then there's the extras, right? We know NPCs, the extras, these day-to-day, you know, that kind of thing. It's not just the celebrities, but we're highlighting that right now just because, you know, people know. Everyone can kind of, hi, how are you doing, Sonia? um so, not to be paranoid, okay? Don't approach anything with paranoia. Approach everything with consciousness. If you enjoy watching movies and TV, still enjoy those things. Just, you know, limit your investment in these celebrities and stuff. Like if you get news in your news feed that they died, it's like every time a celebrity dies, I have at least 5 people from my friends list posting like, "Oh, RIP to this person I've never met." I mean, I cried 2 celebrity deaths: the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, and Tom Petty. But that's because, you know, I loved Tom Petty's music from whenever I was a kid, and that was just like an ending of an era to me. And the croc hunter, because how could you not love him? And he was not a celebrity, okay? He was real. Um, so, anyway, stop putting your expectations and your beliefs in what they're saying, what they're doing, and wanting to emulate them and all of these things. Because when you're trying to emulate something outside of you, you're not embodying your true authenticity. And that's why I wanted to really bring up this topic today to, yes, discuss the cool ins and outs of, you know, it's cool, but it's also an atrocity at the same time. But I like talking about this stuff, so you guys get to hear it. So exploring the different kinds of things that the synthetic beings are doing, what they look like, what they exhibit, because we all know, we've all heard of it. Any of you guys that are here, you guys know. um, so trust yourself and don't get caught up in the fear or the, oh my gosh, I can't, you know, listen to music anymore, I can't watch TV anymore, I can't, you know, do these kinds of things anymore because they're going to siphon my energy, they're going to harvest my energy. Don't do that, okay? Just be mindful of what you're investing in, like what kind of shows and music that you're listening to or watching, if you know, if it impacts you like that. Make sure that you are devoting time to embracing your authenticity as opposed to trying to look like whatever magazine cover is the flavor of that month, because even with the perfections of these celebrities, they still airbrush and retouch that shit and resize them and make them look skinnier so that they themselves can't even obtain that level of beauty, you know, quote unquote beauty. um so that, for the real ones, that causes them that internal conflict, that you know, lack of self-confidence, that mental and emotional turmoil. You know, it happens to a lot of people, but a lot of times it does happen to people who are in the public eye, that are celebrities, that are actual human vessels and not these created propaganda conduits. um, that's exactly what your protection helps with, Matt. Exactly. Cleaning outside weekends is for rest and relaxing. Awesome. I hope you got plenty of rest and relaxation. Read some books and switch that TV off. Yes. That is always a good idea. Always a great idea. Okay. Um, so to close out, we're going to start closing. Shit. Sorry, guys. That was my alarm for the kids that I need to pick them up soon. So I'm going to try to get through this really quick to end the episode. Why is humanity noticing these things right now? It's because our collective frequency is rising. The plane's frequency is rising. Gaia's heartbeat is shifting. There's, it's all of those specks of glitter all around showing, the transformation is here. It's underway. It's done. But we're going to start noticing more and more of these wonderful things. But at the same time, we're going to start noticing the not so wonderful things, and we're going to stop giving our attention to those things and stop investing there and focus on building the new earth. You can set the intention to be aware of glamour spells in your own environment too, not just with like celebrities and people in the public eye, but also those around you. Because there are regular people that we interact with that do these, whether consciously aware or not, but do embody those energies. Okay, so setting the intention to be aware of these energies whenever they're in your field is going to be beneficial for you. The age of illusions are ending. The old structures, the old paradigms, the puppetry, the everything is unraveling right before our very eyes. And we're remembering our humanity when they tried to get us to forget our own humanity by the facades and the tricks and the illusions. We're remembering, and we're remembering that we are energetic beings and we are conscious creators, and we're embodying more and more of that every moment. You are the real magic. You are an organic human soul. Your intuition, your energetic discernment, you are connected to source. You have chi, okay? That life force energy. You are the power. So you get to choose where to invest that power, that energy, that abundance, okay? That is your currency. The more you embrace your own authenticity, the less susceptible you are to those external illusions. So as you guys are seeing all of this surfacing, don't be afraid of it. Be excited because the illusion is crumbling. That's what it is. People may, be upset about it, worried about it. It might take a little bit for them to really, come to terms with what sparks cognitive dissonance in them, these facts versus what their illusion was holding. You'll see some of these things, some of these conflicts, but it's all surfacing so it can be purged, so it can be healed. So reclaim your own sovereignty always. Be aware that, yes, there are facades, but also be aware that you don't have to fear them. You are the power. You are the creator. So stand strong in your own power, in your own abundance, and in your own divine fucking vessel, because that's exactly what you are, is a divine fucking vessel. Okay? Use it to its highest potential. Stop beating it up. Stop suppressing it. Stop dimming your fucking magic, because that's what you are. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being with me today. I do have to get off of here and run to pick up my children. I love you so much. I will let you guys know what tomorrow's topic will be a little later. And tomorrow will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and 1 a.m. British summertime for the 30th of April. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sticking around with